This video is brought to you by my new album entitled Dougal's Treats. It's full of hummable melodies, bluesy riffs and the occasional bit of virtuoso flashy stuff as well. If you enjoy bluesy rock guitar with memorable tunes and solos that wail like a banshee, then check out the links in the description. The premium version includes all of the tabs for each tune, videos and jam tracks as well. Thanks for listening, now on with the show. Hello chaps, welcome once again to John Robson Guitar Tuition. As always, I do hope you're well. That was me putting a little bit of lead guitar onto the recording project that we've been beavering away with for the past few weeks on a Wednesday, because that is what we're doing on a Wednesday at the moment, looking at the basics of home recording. This is not, and I don't claim it to make any claims for it to be, some kind of definitive guide, a professional way of doing it. I'm just an amateur pleb, and I've picked up tips and tricks along the way, and I'm sharing them with you here now. Maybe you're more knowledgeable than me, and you can see that I'm doing something. You think, well, why is he doing that? There's a better way of doing that. Well, leave that in the comments. All I'm doing is sharing with you the things that work for me. And if you're new to the whole world of home recording, then hopefully you'll get some use out of it. As I say, what I was doing was putting some lead guitar, a lead guitar part down, and that's what we're going to be doing today, showing you how I record lead guitar parts. So we'll start with the signal path. The Blue Guitar Amp 1 Mercury Edition, no surprises there for regular viewers of the channel. And basically I'm coming out of the recording output of that. There's my phone pinging, I'll deal with that in a moment. I'm coming out of the recording output of that, which has got like a speaker simulation impulse response thing going on, which gives me, I think, a really rather nice DI'd sound. And that output is going into the input of the Behringer Euphoria UMC22. In the first video, that's my audio interface, in this series of videos I showed you how to set the level. There you basically turn the input gain up until the little red clipping light starts to flash, and then you back it off a little bit so you're getting the maximum amount of signal without it clipping. As I said, there's links to all of these videos in this sequence down in the description, so go and check that out. That's it, that's all I do. I don't add any reverb. The Blue Guitar Amp 1 does have a rather nice reverb on it, but I'd like to record without reverb and without delay, without chorus, without any of that sort of stuff, just a dry guitar sound. The reason why is because then you can change your mind. If you dial in this beautiful tone that sounds absolutely magnificent, especially in headphones from your amp model or whatever you're using, and then you record with that, that is permanent. That is what we call printed, and you can't change your mind. And that sounded absolutely splendid and magnificent, and just absolutely the sonic equivalent of licking honey off ice cream or something. I don't know where that came from. When you get it in a mix, it might sound, a bit mushy and a bit woolly and not very well defined, and there's nothing you can do about it. Whereas if you add the effects in your DAW, you can change your mind and tweak them and, turn them on, turn them off, swap them out for something else, and you've got much more flexibility. You can still record with those effects on. You can have those effects installed on the track that you're recording to, but hear them as you're playing, but you don't you're not committed to them. You can change them. The other reason is that I record without effects on, without sort of time and modulation based effects on, is because you may want to punch in. You might have done a fantastic performance, but there's just one note that's not quite as you would like it to be. Maybe a bend was slightly sharp or something. So you might want to punch in. Now, if you've got reverb and delay and stuff like that already printed onto your sound, then you're not just cutting out the bad note, you're cutting out the delay and the reverb of the note that came before that, or several notes that came before that, and it's a really obvious, nasty, glitchy kind of hello, I've made an edit here kind of sound. If you add the effects to the sound that has already been recorded dry, you don't suffer from that problem. So that's a bit of an overview. Let's have a look at the details of how I get a lead guitar sound to, I was going to say to tape then, but I guess it's to hard drive. Here's what I do.
Here is the explanation.
Okay, here we are once again in Reaper, and we're going to record some lead guitar. Let's just recap on what's already been achieved. We've got the drums up here on this track, the bass on this track, then this track folder here consisting of these two tracks has a double-tracked acoustic guitar on it, panned hard left and hard right for a nice big stereo sound, and the same on this track folder here where we've got, as you can see, the clean chords. Once again, double-tracked, panned hard left and right. Both of these tracks feed into this track, and so on. Right, same thing with power chords. We've got some power chords going on here in this track folder, double-tracked, panned hard left and right. And then last week we put in some MIDI Hammond organ, which isn't double-tracked, but I've used, because you can't double-track MIDI programming. Well, you can, but you'll just get the same thing on left and right, and it's that sort of slight differences that we rely on to get that stereo spread. So what I did instead of that last week was I put some auto double tracking on to the onto the MIDI Hammond organ, and we're going to be using that auto double tracking today when we set up the tracks for the solo. So I'm going to do my usual thing of setting up 3 tracks and putting these 2 into the folder, which is this track here. Just to recap the reason why we do that, it means that I can control the overall level just with one fader. If we go to the mixing view there, I can control everything with that fader. So I don't have to be messing around with 2 different faders on 2 tracks, panned left and right. So first thing, we'll just label this track as a solo, and we'll pan this one to the left, this one to the right, and it's just my habitual thing that I tend to put a little bit of auto double tracking on the right hand pan one. No reason for that, you could do it on the left one. Make your choice, basically. So there is auto double tracking. I'll just run through what I did there again, because I tend to do this sort of thing so fast that and instinctive that you might miss it. So go into the effects tab on the right hand channel, the right hand track, and put on this VST delay and select the ADT preset, ADT standing for auto double tracking. And the way that I've got this set up is I've got the dry signal turned off, so all you're going to hear from this effect is the repeat, the echo, and that will be 35 milliseconds later than the actual dry signal. So that means, and we've got the the feedback, which is the number of repeats turned all the way down. So you're just going to be getting a single repeat at unity gain 35 milliseconds after the dry signal. So what that means is that on this track here, we're going to be getting the dry signal, which is all the way to the left. And on this track here, we're going to be getting the same thing, but 35 milliseconds later. Panned left and right, you get this really rather pleasing double-tracked sound. Then I like to, some people think this is a bit redundant, but I like to add a little bit of overall delay to the sound as well. So I put on a little bit of ping pong delay there. And then I tend to route the output of that track folder through my reverb bus. So that's basically what, see these things here? If I just delete that, typically this little thing here where it says route or route, depending on your pronunciation, that tells you where the output from that track is going to go, and it defaults that it's going to the master bus. Now I don't want it to go to the master bus, so I'm going to untick that, and I'm going to send it to the reverb bus that I've set up. That's on this track here, and all that is just another track that I've inserted that's got a little bit of room reverb on it. It's nothing kind of cavernous or ambient or anything like that. It's just what I think of as being what the sound of a microphone in a room, you know, picking up the sound from a speaker would generate. Just a little bit of room sound, basically. And that is my solo track ready to record. So just to recap, there's the actual track, then in the track folder, then in that folder we've got these two, panned left, panned right, 35 milliseconds delay on the right hand one, both of these tracks, the dry one and the wet one, feeding into the parent track there, which has got a little bit of ping pong delay on it, and it's ending up going out into the reverb tank like that. And that is my sort of standard way of setting up a lead guitar sound. I may fool around with that later when we do some mixing and put some compression on it. We shall see. But that's me good to go now to record some lead guitar. So that is, you know, how I do it. Some people would take issue with the kind of the auto double tracking and everything, and say it causes phase cancellations and doesn't sound good in mono. Well, I disagree. One thing that I always do, and we'll cover this when I do the mixing video as part of this series. One thing I always do when I do the mix is I always kind of collapse it down to a mono just to kind of check that. You can do that in most, if not all DAWs. Just kind of get your stereo output and kind of flip it into mono and see how that sounds. And I've never had any issues with that kind of phase cancellation or making it sound thin or cluttered or any of the other things that people often say can happen. I'm not denying the fact that that kind of thing can happen. It's just that, you know, the way I record doesn't seem to suffer from that. I'll also just mention that there is a full tab for that solo that we kicked off the video with in both Guitar Pro and PDF formats, along with a clip of me playing it, and of course the jam track, which you probably already got if you are a regular viewer of this, but I'll do like an extended version of it as a little bonus for today's Patreon members. So all of that is up on Patreon, as I've just hinted at. There's the link, there's the address, and the link is in the description. So you get the video of me playing the solo, the tab, Guitar Pro, PDF formats, the backing track, and I'll put that explanation that we've just seen in there as well. That's all up on Patreon, link in the description. $3 or about £3 a month gets you access to all of these additional goodies that go along with these YouTube videos. And of course, a massive thank you to everyone who supports me in that or any of the other ways, all of which are downstairs in the description. And that is pretty much it for today, folks. Hope you found this video useful and informative and maybe even entertaining in some small way. And if that's the case, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell if you haven't already done so. And why not drop me a like as well while you're at it. Don't forget, of course, the live stream every Friday 5 p.m. UK time, where we have a beer and a chat. Basically, that's all there is to it. It's a great way to kick off the weekend, and I'd love to see you there if you can make it. But for now, I'll bid you all a good day and say thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your time. Look after yourselves, folks. Stay well, stay safe, and above all, stay sane. Bye for now.